Hey, what's up guys? A little walk around of my Drift Week car. Show you guys what's on the car. A lot of it you probably already know, but it's kind of nice, like all the stuff that happened on Drift Week to the car. So I'll walk you around that stuff real quick. So obviously I run a Wisefab kit. It's been on the car for 3 Drift Weeks. We ran like over 17,000 miles, no, even more. I think like 19,000 miles with that car already on the street, and it done like over 30 drift days. I also run the Wisefab, the longer steel braided braking lines. It's super nice. Really love this kit. Like, it really gives me a lot of confidence going into tracks that I don't know. Really happy with it. And of course I run Feal suspension 441s. As you can see, they're also super nice still. Very happy with that. Like, the nice thing about these is that they basically make the car ride like a standard M3. So when I'm like done with the driving on the track, I just like on, for instance, Willow Springs, I run the fronts like on the Willow Springs Horse Thief, I run the fronts like pretty stiff, so the car travels a lot, so it doesn't really like rotate too much. It kind of like has a lot of slip angle because it's like kind of a big distance between the corners, so you really want the car to also slide on the front axle, cover some ground there. So I run them pretty stiff, and then when I do a travel day, I just run them super soft. I run the Seems Legit dual caliper kit on this car. Super happy with it, 0 problems. Of course, the Wisefab control arms, I like that they're adjustable over there. So it's kind of like, you need to have like a shorter 17 spanner and a shorter 24 spanner because this car has a full exhaust, so it's not easy to get like a regular size spanner like over there between the exhaust and the lock nut. So you want to run like a little shorter 24 and a 17 mil spanner. Feal suspension, still like really happy with that. Of course, I like that it adjusts on the bottom right over there. So what I'll typically do if I have like drifted a day, I'll just set them to like soft, like they're almost soft now. It's just, you never want to run shocks like on full soft, so we just scroll them to the maximum soft setting for the travel days and give them like 2 or 3 clicks to have a little bit of tension in there. So that works really well. Like, in love with this shock, like super nice. Like I said, it rides like a standard M3 on soft, and is like perfectly controllable on the track. Wisefab subframe bushings, just a standard diff. Like, we keep doing fluid on them, so we basically run the shock-proof red line with friction modifier added to that, and we just change it every drift week. So it works really well. Apart from that, it's got a stainless Borla exhaust. I had some problems, of course, with the rear bumper. That has had a hard life, thanks to my friends Jesus Salgado, Dan the Turbo Man, the guys with the shop in Artesia. You want to follow those guys, they're really cool. They helped me out with this bumper. So now the car looks super nice again, because the bumper was like really screwed up. Apart from that, like, look at that car. Like, I really like it. This is a little incident that happened in Medford. I misshifted, or basically I took too long to shift, and anti-hero Derek was really close behind me, so he gave me a little nudge, and that's like still got to get that fixed. Like, I have a body shop in California that'll probably bring the car to do that. Yeah, so it's like a very basic setup compared to other Drift Week cars, but it works. It's really proven. Got my head collection over there, of course. And kind of like one super nice one that I use for like videos and stuff. Another one that's a little washed up. I use that for wrenching on the car, in my 6XD head, which is like super nice, comfortable head that I wear all the time. Got a little head spec over there. Handbrake, like Chelsea put all this stuff in. Really like that. Like the energy seat, like that really surprised me, because it's kind of like a seat I didn't really choose, but Chelsea had it laying around. It's like super comfortable. Normally I run, I put my wheels in the back seat. I'll show you guys a little bit about that. And I've moved like my little tote with tools to behind the driver's seat, because that way if something comes up on the road, I don't have to unpack the whole trunk area, because the trunk area is getting kind of clogged up. So some of you guys have already seen the video. It's getting more and more. So now I'm borrowing a jack from Brian and Tyler. That's in the car. It's not mine. I got this padding that I have under the little tote, just to have something to lay on, like if you want to line the car and stuff, you don't mess up all your clothes. I love these little ammo boxes. I keep buying them every time I see them because it's kind of nice that they're you can like fit them everywhere. Throw them in the car. Oh, a little bit, that's because we just washed the car. You can put them in every little nook and cranny, like it's really nice. I don't have any like impact wrench, so I just still use this thing, but it's usually so many guys in my Airbnb group that I'm pitting with that works. Like my helmet, of course, sitting over there. Here's like a bunch of racks, and it's sitting on this thing which holds all my fluid. So I always have like diff fluid, ATF, brake fluid, all kinds of stuff with me. Of course, engine oil, a little bit of coolant, just in case. And this is like my bag with all the racks. And what I do when we're at an Airbnb with a washer, I'll throw all of them in the wash and just use them to clean stuff up. So that's really nice. Like it's completely filled up right now. There's not much else that we can put in there. Normally I also have like 2 axles and like a steering rack as a spare, so that's also supposed to live in there. Really cool that all these guys, like I got like Whiskey Garage, like Dan Brockett sticker, Door Hunter, Hoonigan, Richard Kim. Like it's so cool. Like I want to like kind of turn this into a tote that shows all my Drift Week stickers. Yeah, and like 297 drifting, of course, representing my friends in the Caribbean, in Aruba. And it's just really such a, this car, like I've come to love it like so much. Like it has, like I said in the Drift Week 3 video, it has like a distinct smell. So all these cars have a little different smell. I really like that in this car. It's done me so well. Like I'm so super happy with it. A couple things that that need like addressing, like that quarter panel, but apart from that, it's like so nice. Like I'm really totally in love with this car, and I always keep like all my stuff, like my GoPro mounts over here, because on the track I can grab them quickly. GoPro charger. I got like a little nicer tire gauge. Mark from Lone Star Drift, he borrowed like the first tire gauge, which was the first tool I ever bought in America for Drift Week 2. Hope Mark still got that and that we can get that back at one point. But yeah, Mark's a good guy, so that's not really a problem at all. I have like used this little thing for vlogging, like because it holds my phone in. So that's also kind of like a very useful tool. Transmission, I don't think this shifts like great because I put like a sort of a OEM component short shifter in it, which I don't really love. So it's a little notchy, especially when it's cold. Like it's not I don't think BMW shift that great anyways. Yeah, so this is like all like the handbrake and everything, it's just all bolted in, so there's no welding or nothing done to put the handbrake in. It's inline, uses Seems Legit kit, like super nice with the banjos and stuff, so you don't have to worry about angling it. And obviously it makes it so easy on this car to do like the dual caliper, so you leave the whole original braking system and ABS and everything in place, and you just add like the Seems Legit line. So that's a super cool solution. Engine wise, she's completely stock. Like Jordan has offered to run a tune in it 1,000,000 times. Not that I don't trust Jordan, but I'm just like kind of like, it works for me stock. I want to keep it that way. Everybody remembers this, the Vanos feed line that my friends made. It's actually not that close to the fan blade, that my friends from Chase Base made when I was stranded in Alabama. We now, as you've seen, maybe we run the diesel fan. So this is off a 330 diesel, and you can't get this in America. I brought this from home actually. It sits actually a little further away from the radiator, and the cooling of this car seems to be improved from it. It's kind of weird. We don't run the shroud, which is something I always tell people to run. It's not on this car. And like we had, like for instance on Muscleman, like the first time I rode there, we had a little overheating problems. Well, not really problems, but I could do less hot laps. It would like kind of creep the needle to the right, and with this setup, like I could literally hot lap until I felt the tires go bad, and the car never ever moved the needle. As you may remember, like we had a blowout in Florida, and it kind of cracked like the suspension dome, so I welded those plates in there. It actually happened on that side, but because I have like ADD, I welded the plates in on both sides. As you may also know, the Wisefab relocates the shock top mount a lot, like it moves it to the side. So this is where the shock now sits, like the center of the shock. So I didn't want to cut up this shock tower, and what I basically did was I sandwiched a bunch of these plates to basically make room over there for the shock. And that works really well. It's just maybe not the most efficient thing, but it like carries really well, so it's like super safe solution for that, and you don't have to cut off. Like, this is still an original M3, guys. I still really like this car, and I want to have like most of the stuff like almost like reversible, so I don't want to cut too much in the car. Like, kind of sucks that we had to weld those plates, but that's life. So yeah, you know, it's still an original M3. If you look at the values of E30s and E36 M3s right now, I don't want to like build this into a pro car or whatever. I just want to keep this like a drift week car. Over here I can adjust the shock, so we drilled a little hole so it actually makes it to the shock. So I just put the 3mm Allen key in there, and that's how we can adjust the stiffness of the front shocks. I just put these back on because I had them on the car. I didn't want to lose them. I didn't want to back these out, so they're just there to make sure that these things don't back out, because sometimes they tend to get loose. Really in love with this car. Also a big thanks to Castro. Like, Chris Castro helped me out so much on this trip. Super good stuff. And yeah, of course, like I think it really proves, like, doing 3 drift weeks in a row and that many miles and that many track days without any problem with the suspension or anything, that really speaks volumes for these guys that make this stuff. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this car. Like, I also like hearing you guys' replies, of course, and what you think about the car. All the little stickers, like these are the Drift Week 4 ones, the recent ones. I got the wasted one because I dragged my bumper all the way across Adams, driving with the silly Mickey gloves. We did a little bit of toge, although we obviously didn't really do it, but, like, you know, unofficially did it. Hard charger, I get them because I have such a huge travel, like I have to go to Aruba and all that stuff. I had a little bit of bad luck on Drift Week 4. I guess, I don't even know what it was, but like fielding was like, oh yeah, that's shit luck, you'll get it. Killing a pair of tires on a Drift Week track, like in one go. I totally did that. Big balls, we did some stuff. I don't really want to discuss it on the video. We've done some stuff that gets you like a big balls achievement. Started Drift Week 4, of course, too clean. Like, I always get that because my car is reasonably clean. It was like for the party at the creepy mansion. Finished Drift Week 4, finished Drift Week 3, the Tauge on Drift Week 3, hard charger. We also did some stuff to get this on Drift Week 3. We drag raced at Villains Drift Week 3. Also had shit luck on Drift Week 3 for something. We did the Tauge. Oh, we didn't really do it, you know. There's no way I would drift on the public roads, of course. Never in my life drifted any corner in the public roads, but we kind of managed to get the sticker. Please pull over. Again, too clean on Drift Week 3. Start Drift Week 3, wasted Drift Week 3. Yeah, that's it. Like a nice Larry Chen photo over here, or like a sticker over here. Texas, of course, my friends from Valino, buddy Louis Lance from Florida, Dan Brockets, and the dudes who run the show with the drones over at over in Arizona at Tucson at Musselman Track. So yeah, that's kind of the walk around of the car. Like, I'm at Chris Finch's place. Really cool. Like, he likes the exact same cars that I do, as you can tell. Super nice Mark IV Supra. Check out all the interviews with him. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this trip. Like, it's been really like an eye-opener, really a life-changing experience for me. Really nice. This car is like, I only owned it for a little over a year, but it already turned into something so special for me. So the wheel and tire situation is actually almost like a complete separate story on Drift Week. So now you can see I'm completely doubled up. 225s and this original M3 wheel, and I've got the 2 other ones over here. And what I basically do is I'll run like until like the inside gets like bad, like on this tire, and then I flip them. So I flip them to the other side because the car is like 4 degrees camber, so it wears them out like unevenly. And then I'll basically always carry like the brand new set on the spare set of fronts with me, because I don't want to sleep in my car again, as some of the faithful people, like the loyal viewers, remember from me happening in Florida. So I always run those rear or those front wheels as like spares, and then I have a bunch of rears. So I bought a bunch of them on this trip because I was like kind of trying, like, my deal with this car was that I always ran uneven wheels on Drift Week 2 and even on the most of Drift Week 3. And the weird thing about that was I bought like a huge amount of wheels. I had like 8 rears or something, and like 6 of them got lost. And like, it's not like there was like a huge problem, because the people like where it happened, like where they got lost, like they totally made it up to me and stuff, but still ended up having not these wheels, and having the wheels that I really didn't want to run, which were like the CSL replicas that I had out back, which were the wheels that the car came on. And it's like, I really hate it if the cars have mismatched wheels. So now I bought a bunch of these through Chris Castro, and what actually happened is that I broke one of the wheels at going off track with one wheel at AVS at Apple Valley, and I thought like, oh, it's just a really smooth wheel dropping, but it turned out that the wheel was like ruined. They're extremely hard wheels, like it's almost impossible to hammer them back. Like Cricket tried it, we couldn't get them hammered back, and he hammered back like 30 wheels on Drift Week, and mine were the only ones he couldn't hammer back. So I also have this set right now. Basically two are like more silvery, so you can kind of tell that these are like a pair. They've been powder coated, like silver ones, and the original ones are like sort of like black chrome style, like these. So there's like the black chrome set, and there's like the silver set, and I basically run double on everything now. I had like two more, one of them is still at Brian's house, and the cracked one I threw away. So now I'm at the spot where I want to be. So I have like two sets of rears and two sets of fronts. So I'm really happy with that, and I have a spare rear because it's left over from that cracked set. Actually, these wheels need to go in the back of the car, in the back seat, and I got like these covers. They're from a 4x4 shop, and I use those covers to put the wheels in the back seat.